One different than the other? If you can take the proceeds from it, how can you not take
Because
the
it's very different. You keep the assets, you take the proceeds because they are paralyzed in a certain way. You take the proceeds during the wartime, but you keep the assets, and it's part of the negotiation at the end of the war. Because, I mean, this war costed all of us a lot of money. And this is the responsibility of Russia, because the aggressor is Russia.
Should the U.S. be compensated?
So at the end of the day, this frozen asset should be part of the negotiation, all in all.
Will France support the U.S. being compensated?
I support the idea to have Ukraine first being compensated, because they are the ones to have lose a lot of their fellow citizens and being destroyed by this attack. Second, all of those who paid for could be compensated, but not by Ukraine, by Russia, because they were the one to aggress.
Again, just so you understand, Europe is loaning the money to Ukraine. They get their money back.
French President Emmanuel Macron has made a bold statement on the ongoing war in Ukraine, calling for Russia to bear the financial burden of the destruction it has caused. In a recent address, President Macron emphasized the need for Ukraine to receive compensation for its devastating losses, both in human lives and infrastructure. He underscored that those who have contributed aid to Ukraine should not have to bear the cost alone. Instead, he insisted that Russia, as the aggressor, should be held accountable for these damages. Since the beginning of the conflict, Ukraine has suffered immense destruction, with thousands of lives lost and entire cities reduced to rubble. International allies have provided substantial financial and military aid, but Macron's latest remarks suggest a shift toward making Russia pay for the devastation. Macron's statement is significant because it aligns with broader discussions in the European Union and among Western allies about holding Russia financially responsible. This could set a precedent for future conflicts, where aggressors are forced to compensate for the damage they inflict. The idea of using Russian assets frozen by international sanctions to compensate Ukraine has been circulating among policymakers. However, legal and diplomatic challenges remain in making this a reality. As discussions continue, many are wondering, will Russia ultimately be forced to pay for the destruction it has caused? And if so, what mechanisms will be used to enforce such compensation? For now, Ukraine continues to fight for its sovereignty and recovery, with the international community watching closely. Stay tuned for further updates on this developing story. Subscribe for more updates on global news.